I received the most fantastic phone call one morning, Monday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and this woman says, "Hey, my name is Vicki. Do you want my kidney?" So she literally walked into my hospital room the next morning. Second chance for everything.
Welcome to Nana's talk show. She will be your host, and oh wait, it's our talk show.
We're the host.
I'm the guest.
You're the guest.
You're the guest
okay.
of honor today. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom. Of course, we love sharing about our family's minimalist lifestyle, highly simplified lifestyle. But today, we did want to take a few minutes to visit with my mom, and then also my twin sister Diana is here as well, just to talk about organ donation and how that has been a big part of our mom's life. And so, our mom received a kidney transplant how many years ago, Mom?
It'll be 18 years ago on July 10th, 2019.
So we're gonna have her share the story of, it was a remarkable story of how she received her kidney. So Mom, why don't you take us back? Well, I guess the story starts quite a while ago. What compromised your kidney in the first place?
I had a hereditary disease, and no, I was not and am not diabetic, and that's so common with people that have kidney disease, is they're diabetic also, so they also need a pancreas besides a kidney. And so unfortunately my mother died. She passed away from the disease in 1964, and she passed away in the same hospital that I received my transplant in, so that was kind of...
Because the technology didn't exist then.
It did
for
not.
Transplant or for dialysis.
Right. Actually, my uncle offered his kidney, and so they were in the process of trying a transplant when he developed some heart issues, so then they stopped the transplant. And dialysis was just starting at that time, but it was very expensive, and it wasn't covered by insurance or anything, and it was just in the beginning stages. I was on dialysis for 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks, and I can probably count the hours too, before I received my transplant. So,
and at the time, Mom, what was so you were waiting for someone on the national donor list for a kidney to become available, and at the time you started dialysis, we were in high school, middle school. How long was your expected wait?
At that time, it was 4 years because of my blood type. I'm a universal donor, but I am not a universal recipient. So, O positive blood, O negative blood is wonderful because you can give to anybody.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, for us growing up, so you were always dealing with this, and we thought it was just normal for Mom to be tired. My mom was just tired a lot, you know. But there weren't some activities and stuff we could do because of that. You know, we helped with dinner a little bit more and everything. But even being on dialysis, it keeps you alive, but it doesn't necessarily.
It allows you to live
a lifestyle.
It is not a way to live. So that is true. Which you guys, you'd have to drag the bin of bills down to the unit, and you'd write out the checks, and I'd sign them, and you'd go back off to school. And
while you were on dialysis.
While I was on dialysis,
I remember going with on Christmas Eve to sit with you. And
it was a 4-hour, 3 times a week. It was something that very much controls your life, but it gives you life. So
yeah, absolutely.
So, until I received the most fantastic phone call one morning, Monday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, from the landline rang on the wall, and I answered it, and this woman says, "Hey, my name is Vicki. Do you want my kidney?" And I said, "Okay, I'm getting ready for work, so I'll probably talk to you later." And because at this point, I was a little gun shy. I had had people who had offered to donate, and that wasn't able to happen, so you didn't get real excited. So Vicki came with Stephanie, and Stephanie was a young person who was in my dialysis group, and Stephanie and I share the same blood type. Stephanie was diabetic and needed a pancreas also, but she was very desperate, and she wanted to put an ad in the local paper, in the want ads, wanted a kidney. And so the local paper...
You do that?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
So they sent a staff writer and did a feature piece on Stephanie. and explaining what she, needed and everything. And she had like 5 people come forward and offer to be a donor.
Wow.
So that's very exciting and very thrilling for her. And they went through the process. And then Vicki was matched up with Stephanie.
Vicki was the writer.
No, she worked at the newspaper.
She worked at the newspaper.
Yep. Vicki worked at the newspaper, and so she threw her name in the hat, and she was actually selected with Stephanie.
Wow.
They have a surgery date set up, and everything's moving forward. And the beautiful part of the story is that, like I mentioned, Stephanie needed a pancreas, and she received that 2 days before her scheduled visit or surgery with Vicki through a young man who lost his life in a motorcycle accident. So they brought Stephanie in super quick and gave her a pancreas and a kidney. So on Monday morning, when dear Vicki shows up to donate her kidney, Stephanie already has one.
Wow.
And so she's visiting with Stephanie in the room, and she goes, "What do I do?" And Stephanie says, "Call Luann."
Wow.
So that's how I got the early morning phone call. And the beautiful part is that Vicki was still wanting to donate. And so they made it happen.
Yeah.
On Tuesday morning at 6:30 in the morning, we got the go-ahead. And so Vicki was able to donate her kidney to me. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She walked into my room. You're going to edit this part out. So she literally walked into my hospital room the next morning.
Yeah.
And second chance for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
As
What a
we're
gift.
celebrating Easter this weekend and Adley's first birthday.
Yeah.
And
Mother's Day is coming up.
all my grandkids.
Yeah.
I have a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah.
And I don't want to think about where I'd be.
Yeah. So we do want to encourage you. You're also part of an organization, Donate Life, and they just provide education on becoming an organ donor. And so we'll link some important information below. Mom, I think one of the main things is for people, check it on your license, but
Tell your
driver's
family,
license.
tell your friends.
But also
there
tell your
could be-
family.
somebody needs to know. So just
So they can advocate
be
for the
very
decision
verbal
as well.
about it, and so that they know your wishes. And it was cute. I was at school the other day helping in Maggie's classroom, and a young boy's doing his project on the body. And so we started talking about organs, and I said, yes, there's 8 organs that can be transplanted.
Oh, wow.
And I can't tell you what they are. So I only came up with
okay.
7. So there's 8.
Yeah.
And then, because there's like wonderful fast facts, and maybe we can find the link to that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so if that, post that below. And the sad part is that 17 people today will lose their hope because they won't receive their transplant in time. So it's, again, it's a gift. It's everything.
So the simple action to take is simply to check it off on your license when you get that renewed. Make your wishes known to your family. And then of course, if you're interested in exploring being a living donor, again, there's organizations that will walk you through that process and help you make an objective decision. So.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We'd love it if you'd share this with a friend too, so we can continue to spread this message. Thanks, Mom, for she was a little nervous. I initially wanted to do this. Good job. A thumbs up also will help this video to reach more people, so that would be great. Leave a comment below. That helps as well. And we hope you subscribe so we can keep in touch and we can talk more about simple living coming up.